Greetings, and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. I'm Barrett.
Monica.
Colin.
And Brent.
And today we are going to be playing through Jaws of the Lion.
Now, if you haven't checked it out already, make sure to check out the setup video if you'd like to see the story and how this scenario was set up. Also, we're doing a free giveaway on both channels for a foreteller giveaway for the app that reads out the story to you so you can have some flavor and all of that. It's really great. You can hear a little bit of it actually in the setup video if you want to check that out. With that, let's jump in. So I'm thinking, you guys, this round, I'm going to go and try and hit this guy over here and then start moving myself towards that stone golem because I want to maybe tank him for you guys a little bit and slowly pick at him because I'm not very strong, but I can take some hits.
Well, I might take that stone golem out before you even get there. I'm going to use my favorite ability on him.
All right, Boom Boom's probably going to try to go over this guy. Since you guys are all going this way, he's going to be the one-man show going that way.
Oh, I love it. He's going to be all on his own, getting attacked by all the zealots. That's wonderful.
I'll actually be going your way too.
Oh, well then look at that. I'm not going to be a one-man show.
Okay, Alora's going to help you out.
I love it.
So what we've done is we've all chosen two cards. You're only going to see one here. This is the card that we're choosing to be our initiative card. And then we have the Stone Golem and the Zealots action cards as well, action deck. And we'll reveal these and then put them in order based upon the numbers that are on the cards. And then we will activate in what we call initiative order. So looking here, we look at these initiative numbers and we determine the order going from lowest to highest. So we've got Boom Boom going first, followed by all the Zealots. We'll activate all the Zealots together. Then we'll do the Red Hood. Then we'll do Allura. Then we'll do Xander. And then now follow that up with the Stone Golem.
Boom Boom's going first with a 20 initiative. And the first thing we're going to do is use knockout support by being able to move 2 squares. And that's going to put us next to the rock and allowing us to destroy one adjacent obstacle. And if I do, I get to gain an experience points and perform Strengthen Self, which allows me to draw 2 cards and take the best one for our attack. And what's our attack? Oh, we're going to get him with Crushing Weight. I'm going to use attack 3, and I'm going to add 2 to my attack and gain an XP if the target is adjacent to a wall. And check it out, that Zealot is adjacent to a wall. So let's see what we can do. Come on, Boom Boom. I got a 0. And I also got a null. Well, guess which one we're going to take? You got it, the 0. So I'm going to go ahead and do 5 damage to that Zealot. It's not quite enough to take him out, but it did some damage.
Next to go will be the Zealots. Now, how you activate the enemies, you first look at all of the elites, and you'll activate the elites first. And then since we have more than one elite Zealot, what we need to do is look at the numbers on the Zealots themselves, and we activate them from lowest to highest. So our lowest one is right over here. And we have move plus 0. So we can see here that the movement is 2 for the elites. So they're going to move 2. And then they have an attack -1 at a range 2. And so if he was attacking, let's say, he would attack at a 3 -1, which is 2. And then he'd try and heal himself. And then we're going to put up the knight. So no matter what, we're going to have an attack. Barrett, would you pop that knight up to the top? We're going to move that all the way to strong. And then somebody can use that on a future turn. The first thing you want to do for your monsters when you activate them is you need to find your focus. The focus will always be the enemy that is closest to them. Right now, you can see that all of us are over here. I'm not going to try and count out who's the closest because all he's going to be able to do is move 2 spaces this way, trying to get closer to us. He is not within range 2 of any of us, so he will not attack. Now let's move to the next one, which I believe will be this number 4. Unfortunately, Boom Boom is definitely the closest. It's going to go ahead and take 2 steps forward. Range 2, oh yes, not within range 2, thank goodness. So Boom Boom is safe. Finally, we'll do number 6. Now number 6 just got a hammering by Boom Boom. Kind of pissed at Boom Boom. So he's got a movement of 2. He can move into that difficult terrain. So he'll take 1 step back right here. That cost him his 2 movement. But now he's going to be able to attack Boom Boom. Now the reason we moved him away from Boom Boom is because whenever you do a range attack, if you are adjacent to the enemy that you're attacking, you're actually disadvantaged. Enemies don't want to be disadvantaged. I mean, nobody wants to be disadvantaged. So they will try and make themselves not disadvantaged before they attack if possible. Now what's going to happen is he's going to attack Boom Boom at 2 points of damage. Oh, and it's going to wound Boom Boom. So we'll see 2. Oh yes, -1. So only 1 point of damage. But unfortunately, Boom Boom is going to take a wound. The next action the Zealot's going to do is the heal X to self. X is the damage suffered by the target of the attack. So that's only 1. So he'll heal 1 point of damage. That means he has, how much? 4? Mm-hmm. It's not bad. 4 damage. We can still kill him. He's already at half health. So let's take him on. We've now completed activating the elite Zealots. Now we go to the normal Zealots. There are 2 of them. We'll do number 2 first. That's the one that unfortunately is going to be able to get to me. He's going to move 2 spaces right into that difficult terrain so that he is within range 2, and he's going to attack me. He's attacking for 2, -1, so only 1. And then we'll flip this, +1 for 2 points of damage. So I'll soak that, I'll go down to 8. Our final zealot is number 5. He's simply going to take 2 steps forward, hoping to get to Boom Boom, but not within range. That's all he's going to do. This will end the activation of the zealots. Let's move to Red Hood. For Red Hood's turn, first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our Flaming Sickle. We're going to attack for 3 at a range 2 and pull that zealot right next to us. And we're also going to put up the fire. And we're going to do a total of 3 +++. Ah, dang, no, it's a minus. 3 -1, so we only did 2 points of damage. He only has 6 health, so he'll still have 4 health left. After this attack, we'll go ahead and pull him 1, pull him right up next to me, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 3, but you know what? Now, here's the thing. Currently, the stone golem would not be able to target me, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move 3 around the zealot and try and get myself closer to him, but not be within range 3. Also, if I do happen to have any attacks that are attacking me for the rest of the round, all attacks will gain disadvantage, which is great. And you can see, unfortunately, I wasn't able to use this when I was attacked by the zealot the first time because I had not activated. If I had gone first, I would have gotten that benefit, but unfortunately the zealots went faster, so I didn't gain the benefit of this against the zealot.
For Alora's first turn, we're going to play this card here, Master Influence. And what it does is, because the Void Warden has a number of other cards that allow allies and enemies to attack each other, this card, every time that I do that, the first time each turn will make that an advantaged attack. And this will stay out the rest of the scenario until I decide to discard it. And then for my other action, I'm going to move myself 2. And then I also can move 1 ally within range 3 2 spaces. And so I'm going to use that to move Xander.
Thank you, Alora. For Xander's first turn, he's going to play the favorite and a double throw. We're going to start by moving using the double throw. I'm actually going to use this bottom basic action and just use it as a move 2, which allows me to move into the difficult terrain next to the golem. I'm doing this for, the main reason I'm doing this actually is because he has a ranged attack this turn, and so he will be disadvantaged since I am next to him. I also wanted to be next to him in order to capitalize on the favorite's ability, which I will use next turn. So the way the Hatchet's ability works is he plays with favorites. This card here sets up its ability and it will stay out for the entire round. I take a token and I put it on this card, and when I use a ranged attack, I may add +3 attack to that attack on whatever character I decide to attack, and then this token stays with that character. And then a couple of my other cards will then allow me to boost my attack against the character that has the token on it. When the character with the token is defeated, it gets dropped on its hex, and then I can pick it back up and put it back onto this card and utilize that again on a new enemy throughout the course of the scenario. So that's actually all that Hatchet or Xander is going to do this turn, setting him up for the next couple turns.
Last to go for this round will be the stone golems. So the first one to activate will actually be this one right over here. Guess what? There's no movement on the sacrificial hurl that they're doing, so he won't move. And no one is within range 3, so we don't have to worry about it. Unfortunately, though, that means he does not suffer 2 damage. The one, though, that's right next to Hatchet, or Xander, will attack Xander, but because Monica, or Xander, put herself in the perfect position, he will be disadvantaged for this. So that means, it's either a +2 or a -1. So that means she got hit for 3 total damage, because it was a 3, +1, which is 4, -1, which is back to 3. So she'll take 3 damage, and then the golem itself will take 2 damage, which is absolutely great. Xander is also going to use one of her items, and that is the Heater Shield. When damaged by an attack, gain shield 1 for the attack. This allows her to only take 2 points of damage, but that will exhaust the Heater Shield until she does a long rest. At the end of the round, any of the enemies that have one of these symbols on them, or Boom Boom, for an example, that had flipped their Miss card, will now need to shuffle either their modifier deck, or, for the Zealots, they're going to reshuffle their enemy deck. One thing we forgot to do at the end of the round is all the elements that are at strong go to waning, If there were any waning, they'd go to inert, so people could not use those elements. Let's go ahead. We've decided what we're going to do for the next round. Let's flip them and see the initiatives. Looking here, it looks like Red Hood is first, followed by Boom Boom, followed by those blasted zealots, followed by Allura, followed by Xander, and then finally those stone golems bringing up the rear. For Red Hood's turn, first thing we're going to do is we're going to activate our chain armor because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get hammered this round, and I want that shield. So during your turn, I gain shield 1 for the rest of the round. That's also the reason why I made sure I went at a really high initiative at 6, or low, whichever way you want to say it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my attack 2 here down at the bottom, which is pretty fun because normally your attacks are on the top of your card, but I do have one, it's called my Twirling Stabs, on the bottom. Normally it's an attack 2, but because the fire is there, I'm going to use that fire element, and that's going to give me a +1, or not a +1, it's going to wound the enemy that's right next to me. So I'm going to wound that zealot, attacking for 2, and we'll flip this. 1 for a total of 3 damage. That's a total of 5. That means when they activate, they're going to kill themselves because they only have 6 health. This also is going to provide me with some XP, which is great. Then I'm going to use my Flame Shroud. I love the name, you guys. It's exactly what I see this as being. The next 5 times an enemy enters a hex adjacent to you, that enemy just suffers 2 damage. And I put up the fire. So I put the fire back up. That way somebody else can potentially use that. And so with that, what I do is I'll place my token here. And how these cards work is this will stay out for the rest of the game. You can see this, that means it's out for the rest of the scenario. Each time this happens, I'll move this over and deal 2 points of damage. And by the way, that suffers, that goes through all shields. When I move past this box that has a 1 XP, I'll gain an XP when that happens, which is great. So I get to do that 5 times. 2 of the times I'll gain XP for using my Flame Shroud. Pretty sweet.
Boom Boom's coming up next with 19 initiative. Now, sadly, I've got my wound token still, so I am going to suffer 1 damage at the beginning of my turn. But that's okay, because check it out. We're doing the 1-2 punch and explosive blitz. Now, we're not going to use any of this because I'd lose the card. I don't want to do that. We're just going to move 2, which is actually going to move me up 1 space. I'm going after that same guy I was going after last time. He really wants to take him out. And we're going to do it with a 1-2 punch. We're going to go ahead and hit him once for 2, and then once again for 1. Now, if I was adjacent to another character, I could use these attacks on 2 different characters, but we're not. We're just going to totally wreck this guy. I'm going to hit him for 2 and 1 and use my Eagle Eye Goggles, which means during your attack, I gain advantage for the entire attack action, which means I get to draw 2 cards and take the better one. Of course, it's going to exhaust it, just like some of the other items you've seen. The first attack we're going to do is 2 plus 0. Oh, something better. Oh, we only got 0. You know, that's fine. It's better than nothing. I'm going to do 2 damage to him with that attack. Now, the second one is going to do 1. Oh, -1, that's no good. And it's upside down, but that's okay. The +1 is 2, but it gets through. So we're going to do 4 damage to that guy, which is enough, I think, to take out the Zealot. Let's check it out. And with that sound effect, he is done. So now that the attack is done, we're going to place a loot token, and I'm still going to gain 1 experience points, even though I didn't push or muddle these characters, because I did still attack the same target twice. And that's going to bring me up to 3 XP. I'm rocking it.
Moving to the Zealot's turn, we'll go ahead and start with the elites of the Zealots. We have our number 1 here. He's going to move 3. 2 plus the 1 here. Fortunately, he doesn't get next to anybody. I thought he was going to get next to me, but that's actually good. He doesn't. He would attack. Can't do it. So we don't have to worry about that. Now let's go ahead and activate that second elite Zealot. Now this is where things get interesting. So technically, Boom Boom, by just looking at range, is only 1 space away from that Zealot. But there's a trap there that the Zealot would have to stand on in order to attack Boom Boom. And they're not that stupid. They're not going to do that. So instead what he's going to do is he's going to move adjacent to both Boom Boom and the Red Hood. Now because he's adjacent to both of us, to determine who he's going to focus his attack on, we look at initiative order. I was first, so he's going to attack the Red Hood. So he's attacking me as an elite for 3 minus 1, and we'll flip this one, another -1. So 3 minus 1 minus 1 is only 1 point of damage, and then I have 1 shield. So I don't take any damage. Also, he moves adjacent to me. Because he moved adjacent to me, I will use my Flame Shroud. This card means that Zealot will take 2 points of damage. I'll move this up 1, and I am a happy camper. Although that elite Zealot did not do any damage to me, unfortunately, they still will wound me. So I will take a wound token, and that means at the beginning of each of my activations going forward, I'll take 1 point of damage. We'll now move to the normal Zealots. Fortunately for us, the number 2, way over there, he will activate. He has 5 points of damage. He'll take his 6 because of that wound, and he's toast. He is gone, gone, gone. So we'll drop a loot token there that we can pick up. Next, we'll activate the other normal zealot. He will unfortunately move 3. 1, 2, and 3, and get himself right next to me again. He will attack me for a total of 2 minus 1, which is only 1, plus 1, which is 2. But then I have my shield for 1, so I'll take 1 point of damage. That puts me down to 7 health. Lucky for me, that zealot walked right into my flame shroud, so I will gain 1 XP. That will be my second XP, and he will suffer 2 points of damage.
For Alora's next turn, we're going to use the bottom half of Grasp of Doom to move here. And because the knight is up, we're going to put the knight down, which will allow me to move 5. I'm only going to actually need 4 of those to get right over next to Xander. And for the second half of Alora's action, we're going to use Gift of the Void. It allows me to put a poison on an enemy within range 3. So I'm going to use that for the Stone Golem here. Then, one adjacent ally may perform an attack 3 at a range of 4, targeting the target of the poison. If they do, they're going to suffer 2 damage. So Xander is going to do this.
So Xander is going to choose to attack the stone golem, although he is right next to it and it's a range attack, so he will be disadvantaged. But this allows Xander to use its favorite ability, which says on the ranged attack that I may add plus 3 attack and place this favorite token on that character.
And now because Xander is doing an attack on my turn, my Master Influence card that I played last turn will come into effect here. So she will gain advantage, which will cancel out her disadvantage. So this will just be a normal attack.
The attack was for 3, and the favorite makes it plus 3, so it's an attack for 6.
And then we're also going to use the second part of Master Influence, which says if we can use one of the elements and exhaust it, then we will get an extra +1. So let's exhaust the fire there, and Xander will now be doing an attack for 7.
Using Xander's attack modifier deck, we are currently attacking for 7, +1, so that's an attack of 8. It would be -1 for the shield, but he's poisoned, so he's going to be attacked for 8. Take 8 points of damage, plus he already has 2 on him. That's a total of 10, and we just took that stone golem out.
As the last part of Alora's turn, we're going to put the knight up, and then Xander will need to suffer 2 damage as the last bit of the card there because he did make the attack.
Since the stone golem is no longer on the board, I am going to change what I was going to do. I'm still going to use this retrieval, which I was planning on using on the stone golem because it would have allowed me to return my token to my card. Since the stone golem was taken out before returning it, I have to go loot that token. But I'm going to apply this attack 2 to the summoning pillar. So I'm attacking for 2, +0, so it took 2 points of damage. Then I'm going to use the bottom action over here, which is another attack 2. So again, attack for 2 on the summoning pillar, +0. So another 2 points of damage. It's currently at 4. It needs 1 more point of damage before it is gone. And then I'm going to use the move 2 to move over, collect that coin, and return my favorite token to my card.
To end this round, we'll activate our stone golems. You can see here it's just a move 0, attack 0. He only moves, well that's a normal, 1. That's it. And he can't attack, no one's there. That'll end the round. We'll have the knight move down to Wayne, and that'll end this round. Let's jump to the next one. We've now all determined our cards. Let's flip them, and we better see this demolition going before the Red Hood. Well, this has been shooken up since the last time. We're going to have Alora first, followed by Xander. Those two just like to hang out. Then we have the Zealot, we have Boom Boom, then we have the Red Hood, and finally the Stone Golem.
For Alora's next turn, we're going to use the bottom half of Suggestion, which allows us to move 3 onto that rubble pile there. And then, because we can use the Knight, we get to curse one enemy within range 3. A curse means that we're going to add this miss to the attack modifier deck for the monsters. Then, we're going to use the top half of Close to the Abyss, which allows us to heal 2 targets within range 2 for 2 damage. And any allies who remove poison would gain Bless. Now in this case we don't have any of those, but Red Hood and Boom Boom are both wounded, and the way that healing works with wounds is you heal right through the wound. So you lose the status, and then you also heal the full healing amount. For Boom Boom, that brings him up to 8 health, and for Red Hood, that brings him up to 9.
On Xander's turn, he's going to start using center mass by moving 3. And then he is going to push 2, targeting 1 adjacent enemy. So I'm going to push that elite zealot right into the trap. That trap does 3 points of damage to the elite zealot. Then I'm going to use stopping power and attack for 3 at a range 2. But I got my favorite token back, so I'm going to apply that to this elite zealot here and attack him for 6 instead of just 3. So I'm attacking for 6 plus a 0. So I did 6 points of damage to the elite zealot. He already has 2 points of damage on him, taking it to a total of 8, which takes him out. I drop a loot token where he was, and my favorite token is there as well.
Next, we're going to activate the zealots. This isn't going to be fun. Sorry, Boom Boom. First thing we need to do is we're going to look to see we only have 1 elite. We're going to activate that elite. We have a move, their movement is 2 plus 0, so they're going to take a step back, and the reason for doing that is because the attack will be ranged this time. If the attack was melee, he would have stayed right where he was. So he's going to have the focus on Boom Boom. He's going to take 1 step away so he's not disadvantaged. He's going to attack for 3 minus 1, which is 2. And then we'll flip this. Oh, minus 2! Boom Boom is happy. That is a 0 attack. Unfortunately, though, irrespective of if you hit or not, any of the conditions will still apply, so Boom Boom will still take a wound. We also should put up the knight. Finally, he would try and heal self equal to the amount of damage that he did to Boom Boom. None. So he's not going to heal at all. Then we're going to move to the normal zealot. The normal zealot will look to see who he's going to focus with. He is adjacent to both me and Xander. Unfortunately, this time Xander went before the Red Hood. I really would prefer him to attack me, but no. So he's going to take 1 step back. And then attack Hatchet. He is only attacking for 2 minus 1, so it's only 1 point of damage. We'll go ahead and flip, and it's a plus 0. So Hatchet will take 1 point of damage, which puts her down to 3 health, you guys. Yeah, we need to heal her up a little bit. And since this Zealot did deal 1 point of damage, he'll also heal 1 point of damage because of this card. And don't forget this Drain Life card, because it has this symbol. At the end of the round, we're going to shuffle their activation deck, and we'll have new cards to start next round.
Boom Boom's going to be going next. Now, of course, Boom Boom is wounded. We got that off, but sadly, we got it back again. So we're going to have to take 1 damage, which is going to bring down to 7 health. But that's okay. We've got some awesome cards. We're going to go ahead and explode, which means I could move up to 4 squares, and if I had fire, I could move 2 more. But before we do that, check it out. We're going to drop the big one. That's right. Dr. Strangelove is driving in on his atom bomb. We're going to blow up all of these zealots. So we're going to go ahead and target a square that's within range 2. And so I'm going to target the elite zealot that is out there, and I'm going to be able to attack all the people that are inside this range, which I'm going to be able to get that other zealot as well. Now I'm only doing 3 damage. I know, only. Isn't that amazing? All right, we're going to go ahead and flip our first attack deck modifier, and we're going to see how much we do to the elite zealot. Hopefully a lot. Oh, well, 0. Okay, well, that's still some. We did 3 to the elite zealot. Let's see how we do to the regular zealot. Another 0. Okay, that's 2. So that's how much damage we did to both of them. We're going to go ahead and place those tokens on. After doing 3 damage to both of those enemies, look at this. I get to put up 2 elements. Both fire and earth get to go up, which means anybody can now use those. Now, sadly, look at this. I'm going to lose this card. You can only drop 1 atom bomb a game, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and ditch this card. It's going to go into our lost pile. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move 4. I don't get to use the fire because I actually put it on the board right now. We're going to get on the other side, and I think I'm going to start trying to get to that other summoning stone.
Red Hood here is going to start off by using his shield spikes. Now, instead of doing the heal 2, because that's actually what I was thinking of doing, but we had Allura who was so nice and healed me up. Thanks you, Allura. I'm going to instead use this just as a simple move 2. I'm going to move myself right in range to be able to hit 2 different zealots. So I'm going to have to use the fire for the top of this Shield of the Desert. But because of that, I'm doing an attack of 3, and I can hit 2 different areas. Now, this gray hex here is telling me that that's where I have to stand, and then I can hit 2 enemies that are adjacent to me. I've got 2 enemies there. I've got 1 elite and 1 normal. I'm also going to go ahead and use my power potion. Now, I can only use this once per scenario. I'm going to give myself a +1 to my attack. So right now I'm hitting for 3 plus 1, which is 4. So I'm doing 4 points of damage. Let's do the elite first. 4 plus 0. That would be 4 plus the 6 that's already on him. Totally toast. Our second attack will be against that normal enemy. I just need to be able to do 2 points of damage to take him out. Oh, a +1. Boom. Done. It's looking like, to me, a loot action might be kind of nice in that area right now. To end the round, we're going to activate our stone golems here. They are simply going to have a move -1. That normal won't even move. Attack +1, no one's in range. That's all he's going to do. We then need to put down our elements down to waning, and let's start that next round. And don't forget, we have to shuffle this activation deck for the stone golems. We've picked out our cards for this round. Now you're going to notice we don't have the enemy deck for the zealots, and that's because we've eliminated all of them on the board. So right now we'll only be drawing one enemy card for the stone golem, and then our 4 cards for our initiative. It looks like for this round it'll be the Red Hood, followed by Allura, followed by the stone golem, followed by Xander, and then Boom Boom bringing up the rear. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do our blinding sickle. Now instead of attacking, what we're going to do is we're going to do this loot 1. It says all adjacent enemies. I don't have any adjacent enemies, so we can't do the top part, but we're going to do a loot 1, and we're going to push the sun up. So that means all the loot tokens that are on the board within 1 space away from you, you get to pick up, which is great. So that gives me a bunch of money ready to go to the store and buy some awesome equipment for my team. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my shocking advance here. Now I'm going to do an attack 3. I can't immobilize the pillar. I wish I could, but I'll do an attack 3, and then I can't do the shield here and gain XP because although I push the sun up, I can't generate an element and use it within the same turn. Now, what's nice, though, is someone else could use the sun if they wanted, but I don't think anybody else uses the sun. So I'm attacking for 3, plus 1 is 4. Oh, so close. I almost destroyed that pillar. So that pillar only has 1 health remaining.
For Allura's turn, we're going to start with the bottom half of Signs of the Void, but we're actually just going to use it for the default move 2. And so I'm just going to move 1 space in this way to get me within range to use the top half of Wicked Scratch, which allows 1 ally within range 2 to perform an attack 3. It moves the knight up, and it gives me 1 XP. And with that, I'm going to allow Red Hood to attack that pillar again. So it's an attack 3 with advantage because of the card that I played that allows my first time I let an ally or an enemy attack each round to be advantaged. And we're going to use the earth element to give that attack +1. So it will actually be an attack 4 with advantage. This attack will be using Red Hood's attack modifier deck, and we'll flip 2 cards here. So we have a -1 and a critical. So that will mean Red Hood is going to do 8 damage to the summoning stone, taking it out. And the last thing I'm going to do on my turn is use the stamina potion, which will allow me to return 1 of my discarded cards to my hand. And that does mean I'm not able to return either of these 2 cards. I have to use something that was already in my discard pile before this turn started. And that goes away for the rest of the scenario.
Moving to the stone golem's turn, we're going to do a move +1. So normal movement is 1, plus the 1 is 2. It's going to move 2 spaces forward. He has an attack at a range of 3. Still, no one is within range 3, so we're good to go. He's not going to pull anyone. That'll end his activation.
On Xander's turn, he's going to attack the summoning stone with this disorienting barrage, but he's going to use the default instead of this special attack. So I'm attacking the summoning stone for 2. I need 1 point of damage. Okay, good. So that summoning stone is now destroyed.
What this means, though, is we have to read our special rules. The tremors have subsided. You feel you've finally gotten a handle on things, but then more men with robes rush from the deeper tunnels of this wretched place to aid the others. Ah, blast. You're thinking we were almost done. Spawn 1 normal and 1 elite zealot at B. That's over here. And then it says, additionally, we're going to spawn 1 normal and 1 elite zealot at C for 4 characters.
For the rest of Xander's turn, he is just going to move 3 and push up the wind. And he's going to go collect his favorite token.
Because we have revealed new enemies on the board, what we need to do is reveal their behavior card. So we're going to reveal that. They're going to be at a 77. What that means is they're going to activate before Boom Boom does, unfortunately. So let's activate them now. First thing is we look at our elites. They're going to move -1. Each of them will only move 1 space. This one would try and move. Now, it's not going to move backwards to try and go forwards. If its movement doesn't get it any closer to its target, it's not going to move. So this one won't move. Then we'll go to the normal ones. The normals will also move only 1 space. We'll start with this one. He'll move here. And this one also won't move because he has no place that he can go to get closer to us. So he'll simply stay there. Their attacks are all melee. We're certainly out of melee range. So that's all we need to do for them.
Boom Boom is going to be bringing up the rear, and sadly, still has that wound token, so we're going to have to take 1 damage, bringing us down to 6. Now, these are the 2 cards I picked, and I didn't know anything was coming out, so sadly, I decided to let Boom Boom just kind of rest for a turn, kind of get back some actions, because you know what? It's been going really, really great for a person. We're going to go ahead and put a token here, and I'm going to go ahead and use our wind up. So we're winding up those 1-2 punches. On your next 2 attacks, add +2 to my attack, so I'm going to be able to do that twice. But that's not happening now because sadly, I'm only able to move 3, and I can destroy 1 obstacle within range 3. I don't want to destroy any obstacles. I got better cards for that. We are going to take 1 step back because after this, I only have 1 card left, and I'll probably want to use that to rest.
At the end of the round, we'll simply move our elements down to waning, and we'll start our next round. For this round, both Boom Boom and Red Hood need a break. We're taking long rests. What that means is we don't draw or play 2 cards out on the board. What we instead do is play no cards this round, and at initiative a 99, so right at the end of the round, we'll heal 2 HP, then we have to lose 1 card in our discard pile and put the rest of those cards back into our hand. We'll also be able to refresh any of our items that have been exhausted, not the one-time used ones, but any of the ones like my chainmail, for example. I'll be able to ready that and then use it again in a future round. Looking at our initiative, we have Xander first, then we have Allura, then we have the stone golems, and followed by those blasted zealots. And then it'll be both Barrett and I doing our long rest.
Xander's going to start by moving 3. Now this card also says I would get to add to move 2 if I had already killed an enemy, but I have not. So we're just going to move the 3, and then I'm going to do an attack 2 at range 4. And I'm going to put my favorite token on the enemy that I attack again. So I am going to target the non-elite zealot and put my favorite token on him. So I'm currently attacking for 2, plus 3 is 5. And, oh, I just took him out. I got my critical hit, so I did 10 points of damage on that guy. My favorite token will stay where the zealot was.
For Alora's first half of her turn, we're going to use the bottom half of this Freeze the Soul here, just for the default move of 2. And then we're going to use the top half of Black Boon to heal Xander for 5, but also add poison, so that when Xander takes attacks in the future, they will be more damaging. And then we're also going to move the knight up.
Our stone golems are next. All this one is going to do is move 2 spaces closer to us. This one has slowly plotted from here all the way over there. Yeah, they're slow. Next to go are the zealots, and no one is within range 3. They're not going to move, so they aren't going to do anything. They're going to stare menacingly at us. Okay. Finally, for our long rest, Boom Boom will take 1 point of damage going down to 5 because of the wound, but then he'll heal for 2 because of the long rest. That will get rid of the wound, and he'll go up to 7 health. He will also have his eagle eye goggles ready to go. I'm going to lose my shield spikes, which it heals. I'm sad about it. But I have my chain armor that will be ready, and I'm ready to go. I'll also go up to full health at 10. At the end of the round, we will also move our elements down, so we now only have Knight at waning. For this round, both Allura and Xander are going to take a little bit of a break and rest, so it's just going to be Boom Boom and the Red Hood. Red Hood will start us off, followed by the Zealots, then it's Boom Boom, then the Stone Columns, then we've got Xander, followed by Allura. Red Hood's going to start off by doing a move 3 and putting the sun up. We're going to go ahead and loot that token at the end of our turn. Then what we're going to do is do an attack for 3 at a range 2. You see that Stone Golem? Let's hit him. So we're going to put up the fire for this attack. We're attacking for 3, and we'll flip this, +1, which is 4. Heck yeah, he has 1 shield, so he'll take 3 points of damage. And I'm going to pull him 1 towards me, and now, because he's next to me, I will use my Flame Shroud, and he will suffer 2 more points of damage. That'll put him at 5 damage already, half health. The Zealots are next. What's great, they still don't move. They have an attack range of 2. No one's within range 2, so that's all they're going to do. We'll move now to Boom Boom.
Boom Boom's next, and you may see I have 3 cards out here. No, I'm not actually using all 3, but I want to remember we have this card because I'm going to be doing some awesome attacks again with the 1-2 punch. So we're going to first off start with Explode, though. I'm going to move 4, and I'm going to consume that fire to give myself an extra move, moving 6. So I'm going to move around the Stone Golem, give me close to those Zealots, because we've noticed they don't move very much. And the next thing I'm going to do, yeah, you got it, 1-2 punch, and I'm going to use those Eagle Eye Goggles again, just because they're amazing. And I'm going to be able to draw 2 cards, and let's see what happens. Now, every one of these attacks is going to give me +2, and I'm actually making 2 attacks just from 1 card. So our first attack's going to do -2, and I don't like that one. Well, -1 isn't great either. But we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, -1. So we did 3. He's got a shield. That's 2. So we've done 2 damage the first attack. Our second one, after moving that token, is going to be +1. Come on, something good. Oh, another -1. So we only did 2 more damage. He's going to subtract. Well, no, I didn't. Look. 1, 2, 3. -1 is 2. So he's going to take 1 more damage, bringing him down to just 1 health. He's down. He's taken 9 damage. We're so close, but we didn't quite get him. But I am going to go ahead and move this off and gain that last experience. And this card then is going to be lost to me, which means I have 5 experience. We're raking in the XP. Now, the one thing I forgot is because my 1-2 punch, I hit the same target, allowing me to push him 2 squares away from me, muddling him, and I get that also precious experience. That's even my second experience in this turn. And we're going to move him 2 spaces away from me, which then, of course, brings me up to 6 for experience.
We'll then go and activate that stone golem. Now, the nice thing is he's at a move -1, and you can see here his movement is only 1. So that means he's not going to move. Thank you, Boom Boom, for pushing him, because he would be doing an attack +1. He'd be attacking for 4 damage. No one's within range. But he does have that muddle token. We'll now remove the muddle token because it's the end of his activation. Because Xander and Allura are resting, each of them will lose 1 card from their discard pile. For Xander, we get to refresh the heat shield. And Xander was poisoned, but with that rest, you heal 2 HP. With poison, what happens is you negate all the HP that you would heal with a heal action, but then you get to remove the poison. So with that heal, she'll remove the poison. Fortunately for Xander was at full health anyways, so getting rid of the poison is just perfect. This will then end the round. We'll go ahead and move the elements down, and we're set for the next round.
And unfortunately, after this round, we had a bit of a video corruption. Our video camera that was recording the cards that we were playing no longer saved the video. So after we got to the second to last round, we were just about ready to defeat the final enemies. We stopped the video, went to try and export it. There was nothing there. So what I have here is the other video camera, the one that's shooting overhead. And this is just showing you a little bit of what we did for those last few rounds. I wish I could tell you exactly what we were doing, but, you know, I decided the best way to show you guys what's happening, put it in 1,000 times speed. You guys can see a little bit, and just know that at the end of the scenario, we did win the game. Everyone except for Allura was able to complete their battle objective. Allura had a very challenging battle objective, especially considering the fact that he hardly ever attacked the entire game. And he was trying to attack an enemy after it had been damaged by another character during that same turn. So regardless, it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. What we'll do is we'll now move to the conclusion. You sit on the cracked stone floor and rest for just a second, eyeing the dark corridors leading off from this room, praying to the oak that more enemies don't appear from the shadows. Luckily, the exits remain silent, but that doesn't help with your ever-increasing sense of foreboding. Something is down in the depths of this place. So far, you've been blindly flailing around trying to get to the bottom of this madness, and whatever it is, whatever answers you could hope to find, are waiting for you down the next tunnel. It's just a matter of taking the first step. You can see here our reward is we gain a mana potion, and I'm actually going to take that as the red hood. We have our new location, a deeper understanding. Here we have all of our character sheets. You can see the Red Hood and Xander each got 23 experience, and Boom Boom and Allura got 24. After the scenario, we did have a city event. I don't want to spoil that, so just know that at the end of it, we're going to have to start the next scenario muddled. So there you have it. That was Scenario 4. I have to say, I really enjoyed this. I felt just like I was playing Gloomhaven. The thing that I'm loving about Jaws of the Lion is it's all a congruent story. I really miss that with Gloomhaven. I want it to be one big epic campaign, and instead it's all these side stories that don't combine. This one is one story throughout, and I love that. And I also absolutely love the storybooks. I will buy storybooks in a heartbeat. I'm hoping he'll do that for Frosthaven, and even maybe get me them for Gloomhaven. I would buy all of them in a heartbeat. Please stick around for the bloopers that are after this, and let us know if you'd like to see Scenario 5. We're thinking of doing at least one more, because Scenario 5 has a boss. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you at the next stop.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin.
Barrett.
Oh my god.
Monica!
We were gonna point.
I didn't know the order.
Otherwise, how do we know?
Okay, do.
Got it, okay.
Also, I'm just gonna go on record right now. I will not be matching Barrett's energy.
Oh my gosh.
Just can't happen.
No one, don't forget to grab your XP. Really? Are you done yet?
Wow. Most loudest thing ever on camera.
Oil it a little bit.
Oil my chairs. Oil my chairs. Okay, yeah.
Wrecked. Not in my vocabulary.
Sounds like fun.
Totally. Since that stone golem is wrecked.
I'm ready for this. Since the stone golem has peacefully passed away.
I think it was perfect.
I dropped a loot token, and then I dropped my favorite as well.
No, I think it was great.
Just the way, I mean, it's totally fine. It was just like, Colin, you're annoying me.
No, my favorite is that she stands there. Hey, you dropped a loot token. And I drop my loot token. And your favorite token. All right, Boom Boom's going to be going next, and we've got Explode and the big one. Now, before we do anything, we're going to have to go ahead and redo that whole thing.
That is going to the Bloopers. I love this.
Because I dropped my token.
Once you start over, start
again.
over. Start over. Make it easier for me if you're okay with that.
Okay.
You really only said about 5 words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I said a lot of
A
words.
lot of
but
words.
only about
I know,
five
but then
that
trying
would
to cut that to get it in the right spot.